Good evening, TikTok. We are back in my podcast that I'm introducing. I have Scarlett Valetti with me tonight.
Hi, everybody.
She's going to be giving us some really good insight on some real world problems that we're going to be facing in 2025. We were just recently talking about it. Probably should have recorded everything we were just talking about because it was some good material, but you know, such is life. So we were talking about the political appointees, starting with the Secretary of Defense, Fox and Friends.
I'm not sure what he's been defending against other than sexual harassment claims, personally, but I'm sure we're about to find out. It seems like he does great with a lady, so he already has, 50% of the country supporting him.
Yeah, I mean that's Fox and Friends. I mean he was the host of Fox and Friends, and his name is Pete Hegseth,
which is appropriate because I can hear it with that kind of like goose-step click of the heels at the same time.
And I don't understand how they're going to replace real world experience. These are 4-star generals being replaced by a Fox and Friends
a
anchor.
lifetime of experience, of historical knowledge, of diplomacy, and you're going to put some guy that was in the military at some point, which I guess is
he's a
saying,
veteran, and we'll give him that. He's a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, please. Thank you. We're going to need more in the future.
Yeah.
A lot more service in the future.
Oh my God.
And then talking about the Secretary of Homeland Security, Miss Christie, who was head over at South Dakota during COVID-19 pandemic.
I feel like she's more widely known for murdering both a dog and a goat in plain view of her children. But
this is very true. This is that.
What do I know about real working class Americans?
Yeah. By the way, we are the real working class. We're both nurses that are trying to figure out how we're going to survive and breathe next year, or even if we want to survive or breathe.
What do you think about IHS and what's going to happen if RFK is actually appointed head of this?
Well, considering he doesn't even believe in vaccines. I mean, and like I know for the IHS, they believe in vaccines because God knows I've had my 6th COVID shot like within the last 3 years already.
I know, right? I just imagine him like ripping out a hunk of bear meat and feeding it to everybody, and whoever survives the prion disease is the one that's going to take over, right?
Exactly, and that's probably how he's going to choose all his consultants for the HHS. Honestly, I mean, it's Health and Human Services. He doesn't even believe in massive health care.
No.
I don't really understand.
No.
Ah, God,
We've got an all-star lineup.
How are we going to survive this next year?
I'm hoping, and I saw somebody on Twitter suggest, forgive me, I don't remember their name, but suggest that maybe they're all so incompetent that they'll just kind of bumble around, which honestly, after seeing the January 6th insurrection, which was just a bunch of like chubby middle-aged guys walking around aimlessly and then leaving of their own accord, I'm not sure
after putting
that's
their
too
feet
far
up
off.
on the desk.
Oh my God. I don't know why all my favorite movies are coming true. Like Idiocracy should have taken at least another 50, 100 years. Truly.
We are really going to be watering our plants with Mountain Dew, aren't we?
I'm telling you. At
least we have Spark in this day and age. We can use Spark, right? Maybe it'll make the shafts a little bit firmer. I don't know. They'll grow faster. What have you? I don't know. I mean, like, you're right. It's all these movies. There's Idiocracy. There's Demolition Man.
Elon Musk just posted something from Starship Troopers. And it was funny because there's an old quote, and I had to do a deep dive on it. But was it Steven Spielberg that directed it? Oh no, I'm sorry, Paul Verhoeven. Excuse me. God knows South Africa has the monopoly on, genocide.
Yeah, seriously.
And he is quoted to have said, "I want to make a movie so painfully obvious in its satire that everyone who understands it lives in perpetual psychological torment inflicted on them by all the people who don't." And I feel like that's exactly what we're dealing with, this alternate reality.
I mean, as soon as he was elected, there was a shift. I shifted into depression. Well, I was already depressed to begin with, but
we went into high gear.
We went into high gear, yeah, with depression. I mean, everybody I've talked to is trying to figure out they're either going to leave the country or they're going to leave living, one or the other. I haven't decided what it's going to be for me. What do you think about Mike Huckabee, ambassador to Israel?
I forgot about that guy. I'm not gonna lie. That was a sneaker right there.
It was.
Forgot about that guy.
It was.
No idea what he has to do with Israel whatsoever. Do you have any insight on that?
He's an evangelical Christian that also believes that making Israel whole again will bring about the next coming of Christ.
Oh,
so
they
he
just
wants the world to end.
They want another crusades. Is that it?
Yeah.
They want to bolster up their enemy so that then they can do the...
Yeah, that's it. And they want the world to end because they've already screwed it up so much. I mean, what else can we do?
Just let us live in the woods in peace.
We tried to do that, and then we were colonized.
R.I.P.
Do you know anything about this Mike Waltz? Because when I first saw National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, I thought he had been taken from Harris's campaign.
So that was what I thought too, because all I saw was just Waltz at the end. I'm like, oh, maybe there's a glimmer of hope. There indeed was not. I have no idea who that guy is. Do you?
I don't.
Have you looked him up at all?
I've looked him up a little bit, and he has some staunch views on China, which is why he's been put to National Security Advisor, and he no longer wants to provide weapons to Ukraine against Russia. So I don't know if anybody knows their history, but the whole reason why we're defending Ukraine is because when they agreed to denuclearize, that was their only deterrent from Russia invading. So we got together and said, hey guys, give up your nukes. We got your back. We're supposed to have their back now, but guess what's going to happen?
Not surprisingly, we
No.
pulled out the rug out from under them.
Sure did.
Gotcha.
Sure did. I'm seeing a trend in our nation's history where we do this just over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
Or rather, our government does it. Maybe
Yep.
not the citizens.
You know, we're American. We can't leave a quarter on the floor for the other guy to pick up. That's it.
Sure cannot. And what's going to happen is Ukraine's going to fall or be invaded, or a lot of their lands are going to get taken, and then Poland's going to be hit next, and then an article.
Where
It's
have
an
I heard
article.
this before? It sounds so familiar. I feel like it was coming from a different direction.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah. And we will refer to Germany as Yahtzee Germany, not the N word, because we don't want the algorithm to block us.
Does that make this a Nazi tattoo?
Close, but no. No, close, but no.
It's a Yahtzee cup with some dice.
What do you think about the new border czar, Tom Homan?
Again, who in the actual fuck are these people?
No one knows.
I don't even remember seeing them in the credits of Project 2025. Granted, I may have glossed over it. But truly, like, what did they do? Like, what that mouth do that you got an appointment, baby?
Obviously, we should be asking Trump that, because the only thing all these people have in common is what that mouth did do for Trump.
I'm telling you.
Staunchly support him through the campaign and while he was in office back, what year was that? 2016? I blocked out those 4 years.
I'm not even kidding you. It was a slow descent into madness.
It was.
By the time COVID rolled around, I'd already destroyed my life. I was already so far gone that I was like, you know, this is kind of weird. Maybe I'll stick around. So in a weird way.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, COVID-19 was horrible, especially us in healthcare. We developed habits.
What a
not even gonna lie.
time. What a time to be alive, though. And
Yeah.
and it is. It's again, in the alternate reality, it was like there was a sniper outside your house, and everybody on the news was like, this guy's going to shoot you in the head if you go outside. But everybody's like, don't tell me what to do. And then you see people outside, and the next day they're in the hospital, and they got shot in the head.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, people just can't see the forest for the trees. I don't understand it. And speaking of government, how do we feel about DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency?
Why is nobody talking about the epic level of fucking corny this is? Like,
Unethical.
I was born in the maze, but like, let's talk about how just the optics of it. Like, oh, like you've already talked about crippling the economy, talk about austerity measures, and we're going to hurt for a while, but you know, it's going to come around in the long term. He's on board to become a trillionaire right now.
Yeah.
A trillionaire.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell me what suffering is?
He has no
Please.
idea.
So the fact that he's got a little cartoon dog up there and him and some other dipshit are just throwing around ideas
Yep.
in an echo chamber,
Yep.
I can't.
He seems to think he's going to trim $2 trillion off of our governmental budget.
You know what? He probably is, and he's going to do the same thing he did with Twitter, and the whole thing's going to just fucking fall apart. Except
Yeah.
we're not talking about a bunch
Yeah.
of people shit posting on the internet anymore. This is people's SNAP benefits. This is their housing. This is their health care, Social Security,
Yep.
disability. Like, you can trim a lot of fat,
Yeah.
but that fat is what's keeping people alive.
Yeah, I agree. And as a reminder to the public, what we're talking about here is socialism, social programs. Not a bad thing, right? But y'all want to get rid of them. I don't
Capitalism
understand why.
is socialism for the rich.
Yeah,
And
that's-
rugged individualism for the poor.
I mean, they're
that's
rich.
the
I'm not. I don't know where the rich
fuck
is
no.
at,
Please.
but I
That's why all
mean-
these people voting for tax breaks. I wanted to be like, how much you make a year?
Yeah, they don't even fall in the right
Tell me.
bracket to
Tell
get
me.
these tax breaks.
Is Applebee's a fancy night out for you?
Because if it is, you're getting no breaks. Let me tell you.
no.
It's not happening.
Baby, actually, we're going to add like $3,000.
And the simple fact that Elon Musk, when he came over here, was technically an illegal, came over here on a visa to go to college.
With bad hair.
Didn't take classes and started a business. So came over on false pretenses. Let's just be honest. Wait, do you think he'll kill us for this?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I've been ready to go for 20 years. Like,
Yeah. We
don't
have
at
a
me.
plan. We have a
Don't at
plan.
me.
If the firewall comes, we're going to stand in front of it. I mean, we're ready. We're ready. I want my outline to be on the side of the building I currently work in. I want it to be forever glued there so they never forget.
Oh my God.
Peter was here.
But this is something like for real. Like I hope there are future generations to look back on this, and like Matt Groening from The Simpsons is actually going to be like Nostradamus on the tabloids.
Seriously.
People are going to be like, "This is so crazy."
Yeah, we're going to put this video in a time capsule, and when they get this, they're going to think we were primates. I mean, that's what they're going to equate us to. They're going to dig this up into... What am I saying? We're not going to be around in 200 years. Never mind. It'll never be seen.
My battery won't last 16 hours. 200 years.
Seriously. Okay, so Secretary of State, the highest ambassador in the land, Marco Rubio.
This goofball. Listen, if I met this guy on like a social stage, and we were like on the verge of World War III, I'd be like, I'm bigger than you, bitch. Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, a little marking.
Honestly.
Little marking.
He said some hateful shit in a video recently about Gaza, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, he has a very
gosh.
unfeeling opinion of Gaza and the Palestinian effort. And sadly enough, he's going to swing towards Israel very heavily, and then we're just going to turn our back on Palestine. That's what's going to happen.
I feel like,
that's what's going to happen. Not that we want to. I am for saving everybody, but God bless, the ship is sinking, and the rats are even getting off at this point.
But Marco Rubio is actually a great example, like Ted Cruz, whose ancestors, whose parents came over here, but were also like the wealthy fleeing a state that was trying to revolutionize. So, like, of course, they're going to try and ward this off. Like, that's just...
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate for Marco Rubio, he is the only pick here that has any type of governmental service experience that I can find.
Did he make the cut? It's because we forgot about him, too.
Probably.
How come he just been hanging out there like, we're going to have our day.
Yeah.
Hear me now.
And here's Marco Rubio in the closet. They don't know, but I'm coming. I'll be there too. Now, he ran against Trump for the Republican nomination last time. So how did he end up back in good graces?
You know, I feel like everybody just turns around. Like there are too many of those like this year and then that year people flipping back. God, JD Vance alone. I'm a never Trump guy. Oh, really?
I'm a never Trump guy.
I know.
I would never get the image of JD Vance and a sofa out of my head again.
Whoever wrote that initial tweet with the fake citation was a fucking national hero. I'm just gonna say it. Like, please.
Yeah. God. And I mean, let's swing back to Master Musk for a little bit. Has anybody brought up the fact that he holds so many governmental contracts and he's gonna have to divest?
It's
to
also
join this?
It's also like being sued and investigated. Yeah. Like.
But you know, now that I think about it, I read something recently where DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is going to be an outside entity consulting for our government.
Oh, that's good.
So he might not have to digest.
He's just going to suck every fucking cent out.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to charge a huge consulting fee.
I love that for him.
All the money.
He was on, like on a show somewhere, some kind of clip, saying if he doesn't win this election, I'm going to jail.
Oh yeah.
So like this has really just become like a bunch of people just staying out of jail.
I mean, Trump's the biggest one. He was supposed to be sentenced at the end of this month. Do you think it'll still happen?
You know what? I saw Biden smiling so big, like unsettlingly big.
Yeah.
All I could think of was the movie, that Smile movie.
Oh
God.
God.
See it. Go see all of them.
Maybe he won't kill himself in the next 7 days.
But I'm like, I really hope that he's gonna do some super unhinged shit.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, even with Kamala Harris, even her goodbye speeches seemed left open, like something more is coming. Like, give us some time. Something's building.
They sent a letter to her urging for a recount, I believe. Was that the betting agency? I know that.
Oh yeah. Where you were betting on? Yeah.
So people are doing something. I'm hoping they're just like waiting to get a case.
I don't know. And there's been talk of maybe Biden will step down and allow Kamala Harris to step into the presidency for the last 70 days. Whatever good that would do.
He should just do some weird ass shit. He's already got a reputation for being off the wall.
Yeah, unhinged. Yeah.
He's a goofy motherfucker. I'll tell
you. And did you see what was the recent thing I saw? It was where Biden came out holding the hand. Was it? God, what was the holiday we had recently?
Veterans Day?
No, it was his wife was dressed up as something, and he was holding her hand, and they were both being goofy together. Halloween, yes. I saw, like, at this point, Biden doesn't care. He knows he's not coming back. There's nothing else to do. I mean, caution has been thrown to the wind. This man is just living his life.
I want to know what Nancy Pelosi's thinking right now.
Oh, God. Is she still in government?
She's the one running the show, isn't she?
I guess from the Democratic side,
She's
right?
been the puppet master.
Oh, that's the one whose husband was
whip-
attacked with the hammer, right?
Oh my God, horrifying.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely horrifying.
And everybody said that was a setup. Only because it was her, right? I mean, Mitch McConnell, you could probably feed some people with all that skin off the bottom of his
God
neck
bless
and
it.
everybody would be like so happy. But God, I'm just aggravated by this turn of events because we really thought, I mean, I
There's
had
a
hope.
glimmer of hope.
There was.
I've been waiting for 30 years to feel safe. And
Yeah.
I thought just for
Yeah.
a moment that maybe we were headed in the right direction.
No.
No.
And now what's going to happen is Trump is going to install some more Supreme Court justices, which is going to
Yes.
lock us into a conservative Supreme Court for the next 50 years.
We're getting RBG'd again. We're getting
Yeah.
RBG'd.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's going to be handmade under his eye. It's under his eye.
You know what? I'm just grateful I'm going to the camps.
Yeah, and they'll just hang
see
me
you
from the
guys.
bridge with that symbol on my chest. You know, the gay one. I'm going to be swinging from the bridge. But I mean, at least I can't breed. I won't be held down in somebody's lap while they impregnate
Oh my
me.
God, I know.
Could
Oh,
you
no.
imagine?
Emily and I last night. Shouts out. My junk went bad years ago.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're going to go. Isn't it called The Colonies on Handmaid's Tale, where they're digging up this
Yes.
this radioactive soil?
Yes. Listen, my entire life, all I wanted was Madonna arms. I thought it was going to be a prison sentence late in life, so I had a retirement plan. But I feel like maybe while I'm still kind of young and
It
sexy,
can happen.
right?
It can happen. Yeah,
I'm going to be
there's still
shredded,
time.
hoes.
There's
It's
st-
over for you bitches.
Because we're going to be starving and radioactive, is what she means. Yeah,
This pussy glows in the dark.
it will. I think it already does, but that's probably a conversation for another podcast. Yeah. Let's see. What else can we touch on today?
Let's talk about. Can we talk about Matt Gaetz? Can we please? Did you
By
see
all
the,
means,
Did
you
you
have the
see the
floor.
New York Post with the picture of him Botox to hell at the Republican National? Said that Gaetz nomination raises eyebrows. Deceased. Deceased.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
It
Gonna
was
have to look that up now.
phenomenal. Like I've always counted on them. But really, another one trying to avoid a charge.
Yeah.
What happened to Nestor? Where did his adopted son go?
I have no
That
idea.
was the same age as him?
Yeah.
And also not a citizen.
No, not a
So,
citizen. No.
who's trafficking children again? Who's
That's a very good question. It's going to be our government soon. Yeah, is what's going to happen. And I also have another question, and this goes out to all y'all assholes that voted for Jill Stein, taking a vote from Kamala.
Where's she at?
Because you want to deny her. Yeah,
where's
is
she at? I haven't heard anything.
Where's all the money they
Jill?
raised?
Jill?
Yeah,
Jill,
she's disappeared.
it's almost like she does this every fucking 4 years.
When Trump ran, she done the same shit. She got all these donations, got all this money, and then after the election, you don't hear shit from her.
No.
Isn't that the Green Party?
Yeah.
Who's voting in the Green Party?
I don't know, but what happened to Ralph Nader? Bring him back.
Please.
I don't know about this Jill bitch.
Please, but Jill Stein needs to go, and she should probably be investigated at this point.
No, I think she actually is. She's
Is she?
Yeah, she's into some grimy shit too.
Because I haven't heard anything from her since the election at all.
No.
And we probably won't, honestly. We're probably going to be investigated after this, you think?
That's all right.
I mean, we already have for our jobs.
security clearance.
Yeah, we
Well,
have one.
It was nice working
It's
there.
fun while it lasted. They're going to probably kick us to the streets pretty soon. But we're at 18 minutes, and we should probably start wrapping up this podcast, this episode. What do you think?
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and she'll definitely be back. And, well, if we're not hanging from the bridge by next week.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have some graphs with me. I'm going to come more prepared next time. So look for me there. Look for me here.
Yeah,
We'll
be
find each
somewhere.
other.
But until then, under his eye, and have the day you deserve.